Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where you can find everything you need to know about adoption, foster care, and advocacy for children in need. So in this video, I want to talk about the challenges that foster kids who age out of the foster care system are facing on a daily basis. So if you are a believer in Christ and you feel like, maybe God's called you to adopt or you have a heart for kids in foster care, I want you to pay close attention to this video because knowing the challenges that kids are facing, in your community may just be the push maybe that you need to really go ahead and start taking classes to become that foster parent that you've been looking to do, or even to really seriously consider adoptions. Because as you know, God has called us to take care of the people in our community, to take care of the poor, to take care of the widow, to take care of the orphan. So you don't have to necessarily become a foster parent to help these kids, but it is really important for you to understand what they're going through so that hopefully you can see how you can make a difference in the lives of kids who are aging out of foster care. So according to Child Information Gateway System, as of September 30th, 2021, there were 391,000 children in the foster care system. And 9% of those kids, as of September 30th, 2021, have aged out of the system. And that is 19,130 kiddos. And so, over 19,000 kids as of last year are now out there in the world, and they're expected to just kind of be adults now and learn how to live life. And so these teenagers, young people, are facing a lot of hardships that their counterparts who've been in a home and who've had a family their whole lives do not regularly face. Okay, so I want to go over 5 challenges that kids who age out of foster care are facing daily. The first one is homelessness. So when a youth gets emancipated and they age out of foster care, the judge signs an order saying the state no longer is your custodian and you're not in foster care anymore, and so there you go. So now the youth is out. The state is not going to help them with benefits anymore. They're not going to provide housing for them anymore. I mean, they used to be forced to stay in foster homes or wherever they were staying. Now they don't have to do anything because the state is no longer involved in their care. And so a lot of times the youth end up being homeless because they don't have a place to go. Now, obviously it's not all of them, right? Some of them have friends maybe that they can stay with. Some of them find relatives that they can stay with. But a lot of the kids do end up finding themselves homeless because they don't know where to go. They don't have a place to go. And they've been in the system for so long. And if their parents' rights have been terminated, they haven't had any contact, most of them with their biological family now for a long time, okay? And so homelessness is a really huge challenge that foster kids who age out of the foster care system face. And as a matter of fact, only 1 out of 2 foster kids who age out of the foster care system will not have some type of gainful employment by the time that they're 24. And so obviously that, works into homelessness, because if you don't have a place to go and you don't have a job, it kind of continues that cycle. Because if you're homeless and you go apply for a job, what address are you going to give them, right? And a lot of employers, if they don't see an address, then they become suspicious of like, who are you and where are you staying, things like that. So it puts kids in this vicious cycle. When they become homeless, they don't have a place to go, how to even start finding a job from a place of homelessness, and where you're going to put your clothes, and how you're going to, get ready to go to work and things like that. So homelessness and not being able to get employed sometimes go hand in hand as challenges that the foster kids are facing when they age out of foster care. The second challenge that kids who are in foster care and also aging out of foster care face is sex trafficking. Unfortunately, some of the kids, in foster care run out of the foster homes, for good reasons. Some of them have really good reasons. If the foster homes are being abusive or neglectful and the court is doing nothing to change that, some of them have really good reasons. Others don't. They just don't want to be in a foster home, and so they run away. Unfortunately, so many foster kids who run away or they age out of the foster care system end up finding themselves in the horrific, vicious sex trafficking spider web is what I would call it. And so you would be surprised how many kids in foster care end up getting stuck in the sex trafficking rings. And because what happens is that the pimps, they use psychological manipulation. because kids in foster care already feel like their parents have abandoned them. They already feel all the really bad emotions of not knowing where they belong and not having a home, not having siblings, and what's going to happen in my life tomorrow. And so this pimp steps in and says, I'll take care of you. Here's some money. I have a house for you. Come stay with me. And unfortunately, these kids, because they don't understand what's happening, are emotionally and psychologically manipulated from these pimps into joining the sex trafficking stuff. And then they find out later on that this pimp was only just using them for their own gain. And so sex trafficking is a really real threat against kids in foster care and also kids aging out of foster care. The third really big challenge that foster youth face when they age out of foster care is becoming pregnant at a really young age. 7 out of 10 girls that age out of foster care become pregnant before the age of 21. And unfortunately, this sometimes continues this cycle of foster care. I was shocked when I worked in the juvenile court system to find out that a lot of the parents that were involved in the foster care system were foster youth themselves. Some of them had mental health issues that were never diagnosed or treated, so they were not able to care for their kids when they had their kids so young. And so becoming really young parents and not knowing how to parent their children and potentially ending up in foster care again is a big challenge that youth face when they leave foster care. And so one of the things that can be really helpful is for foster youth to have a mentor. And there are studies that show that when foster youth have a mentor that stays with them for years, they're way more likely to do better because they have somebody that can always talk to. They have an adult who's been a positive role model in their lives for a long time, who can be kind of a father figure or mother figure to them, teach them how to cook and how to do laundry and, what to do with relationships that you encounter, and going to school and getting a checking account, and how to go grocery shopping and put gas in your car. All of those things that we teach our children because they live with us, but a lot of times foster youth don't necessarily get those kinds of things as they're going from foster home to foster home to foster home and eventually aging out. Okay, so becoming pregnant at a young age is unfortunately a big challenge that especially the girls face when they age out of foster care. The fourth really big challenge that they face is incarceration, okay? And so there was a survey done back in 2019 that did a survey on the foster youth when they were age 17 and then again when they were 20 and 21. And so what the survey found was that at age 20 and 21, 19% of the kids who had completed the survey, also at age 17, were incarcerated due to, some crime that they committed. And so they are, young people going to prison. Why? Because, again, they don't have a positive role model, and because they don't have somebody who can show them the right way, right? Because they were abused or neglected in the system for so many years. And so when they come out of the system, they don't know how to make right decisions. The fifth challenge that the foster youth face when they age out of foster care is their ability to obtain a bachelor's degree. Now, some of the kids have already started college by the time they age out, and some surveys that were done were showing that at 17, when some of the foster youth were still in foster care, they were in college, they were doing well, and then at 20 or 21, after they age out of foster care, they plummeted. They dropped out of college because they didn't have enough support anymore. They didn't have the resources they needed anymore. Maybe they became homeless at that point. There are so many other factors that go into it. But unfortunately, the reports are showing, the data is showing that there's less than a 3% chance that youth that age out of foster care are going to actually obtain a college degree. The fact is that not having a college degree can really, really impede your success. Even people who were never in foster care have a hard time having a job or having a position where they can get into a manager position or a supervisor position because they didn't have a college degree. And so having a college degree is incredibly important to be able to have some type of gainful employment. So these are the 5 major challenges. I mean, there's a lot more, but these are just the 5 that I wanted to really highlight in this video to show you what our foster youth are facing when they age out of foster care system. And as you can imagine, that's a lot for any young person. When you just turned 21, you feel like life is before you and there's so many opportunities and there's so many things you could do with your life. And for most 21-year-olds, they're excited about life. They're going to college and they just want to enjoy life. They're out of their parents' home, and so they're going out there and being who they are and learning more about themselves and having friends and things like that. But that's not always the case for the kids who are aging out of foster care that turn 21 and they have no idea what tomorrow is going to be like. So if you have a heart to help foster youth, I hope that learning about these 4 challenges has really given you maybe a better view about what the foster youth are facing in your community, and hopefully inspired you to take action and to do what you can to be involved in your community. I interviewed Angela a while back. She is a former foster youth and she aged out of foster care, and you can check out that video right here where she tells her story, what happened to her and her siblings, how she unsuccessfully aged out, and what she's been able to do since then. Since then, she's written a book to help kids in foster care, and she's a phenomenal inspiration. So click that link to go hear her story and learn more about foster care. And guys, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share this with your friends. All right, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.